you want to go through that Aberdeen side, Schultzy, please?
Mate, of course I can, mate. Fullback with Dave Manane. The wingers are Seth Mitchell and Curtis Irving, and the centres are Ethan Christian and Hayden Bell. Yeah, halves are Lee Mitchell and Shawnee Millwood. And he'll be captain. Oh no, he's not captain. And the number 8, the front rowers is Jordan Akuma and Kane McDonald. Hookers Corey Gilmore. Back rowers Liam Wilden, Taylor Pryor, and the captain and lock is Jimmy Diggins. The bench is Sammy Fitzsimmons, Brocky Foreman, and Timmy Cameron, Matthew Jones, Graham McRae, Jess McLean, Brad Fenton, and Jake Duffin.
And Matty, do you want to go through the Merriwa side, please?
Sure, Benko. The fullback for the Merriwa Magpies is Seth Morgan. On the wings, got Shane Pittman and Benjamin Neighbour. In the centres, you got Blake Ellis and Jacob Med. In the halves, you got Nathan Barry as captain as well, and Andrew Swales. Benjamin Moore and Daryl Mulholland in the front row with Bradley Ellis at hooker. Brady Hilton in the second row with Tim Stanley. At lock, you got Nick McLaughlin. On the bench, you got Lincoln Duets, Gavin Piper, Stevie Muffet, Brucey Blackadder, John Whitby, Jonathan Hood, Carlin Rima, Ian Med, and coaches Nathan Barry.
Look, we're going to. I've called it during the week, boys, on the couch. This is going to be a fantastic game. We've called all these teams over the last few weeks, and geez, I'm looking forward to this clash. It's going to be an absolute ripper.
Yeah, Kane McDonald up the front from the Aberdeen boys. I've been really impressed with him in the final series. He's been really going forward for him well. It'll just be interesting to see, as you just commented, Mitchell in 5'8", how long he lasts. Will the Magpies go at him? You think they would. Yeah. And then also the Merriwa Magpies halves in Barry and Swales, and how much Seth Morgan gets his hand on the ball.
I was going to say, I was a little bit not disappointed, but Seth didn't touch his ball as much as I would have liked in the major semi, and that's what I really does rely on him. But geez, their forward pack's good, Merriwa.
And they still got away with it too, Schultzy, when Seth. I agree with you. I thought Seth might have been a little bit more prominent in that major semi, but he did enough. He did take the ball up well when the kick was put in. He did the hard yards for the forwards. I'm really keen to see the big boppers off the bench. Gavin Piper, Johnny Whitby and Jonathan Hood. I spoke to Johnny Whitby before the game, and they are so keen to get out there and rip in. And Big Wits has assured me they're not going to leave nothing on the field, put it that way.
No, and seeing in the papers in the weekend that the 20-year anniversary, the 20-year jumper, like there's going to be a huge crowd here for the Magpies.
He was telling me there was 16 years, I think, between grand final victories. And there's a guy, the name escapes me right now, but there's a gentleman on the, he's still rubbing down and doing the strapping for the Merriwa Magpies. He was part of the 1967 Merriwa Premiership side. So how good is that? And I will get Bomber later on to find out that gentleman's name, because he needs a rap for sure.
Yeah. I'm intrigued if Dave Manane's shoulder's good to go, which he promised me it is. I'm going to be intrigued to see how well him and Shawnee Millwood really take control of the game. Because I'm going for Merriwa, but I really think this is a big worry for Aberdeen. They touch the tiger, away they go, and Shawnee Millwood has been class. They've been, I think they've won the last 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Hard to stop.
Well, I've tipped the Tigers. I tipped the Tigers on Thursday afternoon, and only because look, they've got some good form. They've come through the minor semi, obviously, and they've done it exceptionally hard. But let's not forget they defeated the Merriwa Magpies 14 points to 12 in the last competition game before the minor semi-final. So, look, these guys are battle-hardened, and I'm not saying Merriwa isn't, but the thing that really sways me is that Shawnee Millwood, Lee Mitchell, we can't, obviously, how can we say Lee Mitchell's 100% fit, boys? He's got to have a little bit of a question mark hanging over him. But the most positive thing for the Aberdeen side is Matty Jones went on there and did brilliantly, absolutely brilliantly, stepping into Lee Mitchell's shoes last week. He controlled the right-hand side of the ruck while Shawnee Millwood went down the left. It was just a superb performance by Matty Jones. And I've been so impressed with the pack of forwards from Aberdeen this season. They never take a backward step. On the other hand, I remember Johnny Whitby scoring a try in the major semi-final when it was absolutely crucial, and they get over the Scone boys, and that turned the tide for the whole Merriwa Magpies. It's going to be a fantastic game.
Yeah, and even with you said with Matty Jones, unlimited interchange in the reserve grade. So you can take Matty Jones on the bench, and if Lee Mitchell does fall to that injury, just replace him. And it goes on from next week.
I think that's why they're risking him, aren't they? I think you got nothing to lose. No. Yes, they're going to lose one on the bench, but at the end of the day, reserve grade's 19, so. it's nothing to lose. And I think they give him a crack. And if he falls in the heap, well, you got Jones there. You're laughing, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing is, I mean, if you look at the bench, look at the weapons off the bench for both sides. I mean, Jesse McLean can pull a try out of anywhere.
Graham
McRae, and the other guy that I've been exceptionally impressed with is Big Brad Fenton when he comes on. What a bopper. He probably matches it. And if he's not the biggest bloke on the field next to Johnny Hood, I don't know who is.
Yeah, but you look at McRae, Jesse McLean, Fenton, all first graders. They've all played first graders, in past years and this year. So, it's going to be an intriguing clash. The wind's still blowing here, boys. So
it was I was watching the first two games over there, and I wasn't envious of you and Bomber and Matty Kenny up here during the early games, mate. But I want to say, great call, Matty, and great call to Bomber in the Ladies League. Geez, the Ladies League tag. What a great performance by Scone over the Murrurundi girls. It was an exceptional performance by the Scone girls. And for all those just joining in, the Singleton side, the undefeated Singleton side, I must say, boys, 44 points to 10 over a really gallant Aberdeen young side. And I was talking to a couple of the boys, and that a lot of those Aberdeen boys, and you can correct me if I'm wrong about the Singos, but a lot of the Aberdeen boys are still ready to go again next year.
Very, very young.
Which is a positive for the club.
Yeah, I spoke to the Singleton trainer, Spanner Bailey, before the game, and he said there's probably about only 8 that backed up from last year in the Singleton team. So of a squad of 19, you've got a fair few boys running around again for the Singleton side. Plus then, I know the Aberdeen boys, they've only just come back into the comp this year with the 18, so they're going to be strength to strength next year as well. And you look at your 16s comp, they're coming through as well in all clubs, so it's going to be a fantastic comp next year.
Well, big crowd and a big guard of honour from the Aberdeen boys for the Merriwa boys, and there's a stack of people down there. And I must say, boys, while we've got an opportunity, how good's this crowd?
Yeah, she's building.
Massive crowd. The man in charge today is Jesse Rudder. On one touchy is Angus Wally, and the other touchy is Liam Anderson. Well deserved from young Liam as well. He's had a great season officiating on all accounts. Here's the Aberdeen boys running on, led by captain coach Jimmy Diggins. Shawnee Millwood is next. Liam Wilton. There's Corey Gilmore, Ethan Christensen. And like I said, great game expected here.
Lee Mitchell running on last, wearing the 6, so he's definitely got it all on. He's got the hamstring
straps. I'm going to throw it out to you, boys. If Aberdeen win this, it's going to make it very interesting for first grade. I think if Merriwa wins this, I think Scone will away in first grade.
Okay.
Lee Mitchell going to start on the bench, buddy, Benko. So Matty Jones
is definitely on, and I see Kane McDonald's not on first either, fellas. So just get a handle on who's out there instead of Kane McDonald. I think Big Bitsy's on.
Yep. I think you got Bomber down on the sideline now.
Bomber, can you hear us, mate?
I've just been doing a little bit of background work.
Yeah, we noticed, mate. Your PR's been fantastic, mate, down there. Bomber, who's your selection, mate? Who do you like?
Who do I like?
Yep.
Oh, mate, it'd be hard to go past Aberdeen, the reserve grade grand final specialist. But I watched Merriwa play here in the major semi, and they don't give much away. Just a little footnote here. I've got Brucey Blackadder on the bench here for Merriwa. He was playing in my 1993 under-18 side. So that's how old he is. Do the maths.
Well, there's the kick-off and from Hayden Bell, and they're running with the wind in the first half. And there's Big Hoodie's on. He's been an impact weapon straight away, the big fella he's on. And I noticed that Brady Hilton is off the field to start the game. He's Nathan Barry in his usual role as first receiver. So Merriwa are going to be running into this very strong breeze early, and they're about 15 metres out from their line. Here's Nathan Barry, and Barry gives it back inside to number 16 and 15. Is that Gavin Piper, I think's on early?
Yeah, Piper.
Bradley Ellis, by the way. Bradley Ellis, I called him Brady all major semi-final, and geez, I tell you what, the Magpies let me know about it too. Ellis a dummy half onto Swales. He gets it out to can't see that guy's number, but he's monstered. He's monstered by a swarm there. Here's Nathan Barry, first kick. It's a good kick too, into the breeze, and it's going to go down Curtis Irving's throat. He lets it bounce once or twice. He lets it go for Dave Manane, and Dave Manane picks it up, tries to run around the Merriwa boys, and they belt him just shy of his own 30, 10 in from touch.
Interesting to see Dave Manane standing really deep there on the kick. He allowed 60 metres for Barry's kick then, and the Merriwa boys are kicking into the breeze. So we see Irving go forward.
Yeah, the Merriwa boys are trying to get up very quickly from the advantage line.
One of your old boys, Banco there.
Which one, Swervo?
Swervo.
Yeah, Swervo, Curtis Irving. This bloke has had a really great season, Liam Wilton. He just gets over halfway now. He's 10 in from touch, a couple of metres over halfway. Gets up a little bit gingerly. Good dummy half run by Gilmore, and he gives it on to Big Fitzy, Sam Fitzsimmons, and he gets up to the Merriwa 40-metre line, I should say. But the Merriwa defence is solid. Ordinary pass to Shawnee Millward, but he did well to pick that up. He puts boot to ball, and it bounces straight up. And so Seth Morgan gets the ball, and he swerves in the tackle. He gets just shy of his own 20. Centre field, good hit by Gordy Akuma. Here's Jacob Med with the ball from dummy half. This is what great hit. This is what the back should be doing, taking a bit of pressure off these big boppers in the forwards for Merriwa. There's big Johnny Hood again. He'll go for about 10 minutes, Hoodie, and I reckon Whitby will be in there, and he'll be absolutely raring to go, Johnny Whitby, when he gets on.
Not a bad replacement putting Johnny Whitby on,
Hell no. Here's Barry, runs across field. A little bit flat for mine there.
That's Timmy Stanley.
Yeah.
What do we think about this breeze, mate? What sort of points in it, you reckon?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what, it's damn strong. Here's Jacob Med, gets the ball out off Nathan Barron. He gets over halfway. It's the last tackle. Bradley Ellis at dummy half. He's going to give it back to Barry. Needs to put a good kick in. He dummies. Oh, Nelly caught with the ball on the last, but he still managed to get away from two players, and he got the kick down, and Dave Manane collected it right under his sticks. He goes wide, and then he's pushed off Benny Neighbour, but he came again. Really good tackle. They were about 18 metres out, 5 in from the touchline. There's Shawnee Millward from dummy half. Gigi's a good player, Shawnee Millward. He gets through a stack of work. There's the captain there, or the co-captain, I would imagine, taking a ball straight from dummy half. He's big Liam Wilton gain.
Also has time to do a bit of refereeing as well.
He's lost that ball there in the tackle. Good hit there. Good hit by Timmy Stanley. Big number 12 was there involved in that tackle, and an easy turnover there for the Merriwa Magpies.
I think he's still feeling that effect of the early tackle, Wilton, because he stayed down again after that tackle. So he got one early, and he's still a bit ginger after that one there.
Well, they just know, Schultze, they know exactly how dangerous Big Liam is. He scored a great try here, a couple of weeks ago. He was outstanding.
Yeah, mate. The first two sets of Merriwa, didn't they really struggle to come out? So I'm just trying to work out how strong this. I know it's strong, but what sort of points are in it? They're going to have to want to try and stay in this game to half time so they can come home at the end.
I did like Nathan Barry just coming 2 passes wide there with Merriwa, just trying to get it outside the Aberdeen big fellas as we see the wide with Barry. Barry tries to take on Matty Jones and Christensen. He's
take him low.
Jones gets him.
They won't take him low, Matty Edwards. He's tackled, 10 in from touch, 20 out. That was ordinary defence. Ball goes out to Swales from the dummy half. It gets onto big Benny War, and he's tackled there, 18 metres out, 20 in from touch from the Aberdeen line. Ellis at dummy half, gets it out to Swales, hands it on to Hoodie, and Hoodie, Big Hoodie goes forward. What a man-mountain of a bloke he is. Fair dinkum.
Robin's brother.
Ellis at dummy half, 12 metres out from the Tigers line. Swales down to the right-hand side. He jinks. He goes quick pass to Seth Morgan. On to Nick McLaughlin. Mick McLaughlin tries to evade one or two, but he's tackled 12 metres out. Ball goes from Seth Morgan out to Swales. He's looking for runners. He jinks. He goes himself. He beats one out the back onto McLaughlin again, and he tries to go to the line. Only pulled down a couple of metres shy of the line. It's the last tackle. Ball's going to go out the back to Swales again. Long pass out to Barry. He's ran with the ball. He's cut out. He's given it to Jacob Med. Over to the winger. And there's that Pittman. Pittman goes himself inside. He's rolled over. I think it's a try.
Timmy Stanley.
Timmy Stanley's over for the Merriwa Magpies.
Nice play. I like
Great. They kept the ball alive, and I thought the Aberdeen defenders, the wingers, would drop back because they thought Barry was going to chip it through.
Oh, he was so deep and staying on his flat foot. I thought he's just going to kick it, but then all of a sudden he just took ahead and away he went. Oh, beautiful play.
Good offload, one arm offload by Jacob Med. Fantastic. The winger found Timmy Stanley burrowing onto it.
Bit of a fan of Jacob Med, boys. He came on for the bench a couple of weeks ago in the major semi-final, and he was terrific. Bomber, how'd you see all that, mate? They kept the ball alive well.
Really good footy. He's got a certain calmness about him that you need in reserve grade when the heads are all going everywhere. He just that nice, calm ball. Yep, good footy by Merriwa.
Do they get the early points, 4-0?
Timmy Stanley still had a lot of work to do there. Like, it took a while to spin out of the tackle by, I think it was Dave Manane coming and get the ball down. So he still had a lot of work to do, Timmy Stanley, to get that try.
Great backing up too, though, eh? Because I thought the winger was just going to try and do everything himself, and then back inside he was. It's beautiful.
Well, he's going to be kicking across the Brews, boys. Seth Morgan, he's going to try and convert it. What is he, 20 out and 10 in from touch? I think every kick today, there's no easy kicks.
Oh, no.
Fair income. So he's lined up this well. He's moving in now. Seth Morgan strikes it. The wind's held. It's ground. It's just waved away from the right upright. He probably should have given a little bit more than that to the left.
You'll
but
learn
anyway,
from that one for sure.
4-0 in favour of the Magpies here in the Group 21 Bengalla reserve grade competition on the A+ contracting and poly welding scoreboard. I have to get all that right.
It's a mouthful.
It's a mouthful, but big thank you to the A+ team out there for helping us out this season. Here's a restart from Hayden Bell, and he puts a high kick down to a vacant area, and it goes backwards there from Blake Ellis, and the referee called it as so. Swervo comes in and belts the Merriwa player, I think.
Ellis, I think, isn't
Yeah,
it?
Blake Ellis, Bradley Ellis at dummy half. He gives the ball there to, I think that's Nick McLaughlin. He takes it forward about 15 out, centre field. Here's Barry. They need the big bobbers to run well. I love how Nathan Barry goes across field, and the defence always hang off him because they just don't know if he's going to go himself or bring someone under. Really good player. Here's Seth Morgan taking the pressure off some of the forwards. Don't be surprised if there be early changes here. What have we had? We've had 8 minutes of play. Here's Gavin Piper now goes under a high shot, and he's tackled about 35 out from his own line, 20 in from touch. It's the last. The ball goes straight behind into Nathan Barry's hands. Look at the overlap they if they had got the quick hands through. He puts a kick down. It bounces awkwardly for Swervo Irving, and he picks it up on his own 30, and he's belted there by Blake Ellis. And also, I
Johnny
think
Whitby
that's
about to make.
yeah.
Johnny Whitby about to come on, Banker.
Yeah, I'd say Big Hoodie will be coming off. That's the rotation policy. Hoodie for Whitby and Whitby for Hoodie. Right on their own 40 centre field, the Tigers. Here's Ethan Christensen, and he goes forward. He's hard to get. They need to get him early. If he gets some speed up, a man he can motor. He's inside the Merriwa half. Gilmore at dummy half onto Akuma, and Gordy Akuma goes forward, and he's belted there, but a great run from the big front rower. He's tackled 35 out from the Merriwa line, 10 in from touch. Gilmore at dummy half onto captain coach Jimmy Diggins, out to Millwood. Millwood shows it under one way, goes across field to Manane, onto Hayden Bell. Hayden Bell throws it onto Swervo. He's built like a one-on. He has to come in field. He does, unloads to Manane, back to Millwood. Millwood gets the ball onto Corey Gilmore, and he's hitting a really good tackle there from Big Benny War. Monstered 28 metres out for last tackle. Matty Jones gets the ball. Little chip over the top. Who's coming to get it? And that's Shane Pittman. And Pittman gets the ball. Goes under a little bit of a wayward arm. Taylor Pry was the man, but they tackle him 10 out and 20 in from touch from his own line. There's Seth Morgan in traffic. He gives it on to Nathan Barry, who unloads over to Med, and Med goes forward. Jacob, he gets hit by a good tackle by Corey Gilmore, just shy of his own 30-metre line, 10 in from touch.
Johnny Whitby on for Hoodie, called it, Benko.
Yeah, there's a good rotation policy there the Magpies have got.
Boys, I do like Jesse Runner so far, letting them a couple of high shots. A bit lazy, nothing malice in it, so just let him play on a lot.
Totally, Schultz. That's a good call, mate. There's Gavin Piper. He goes well, Big Piper. He's got a bit of time for him. He never stops. Bradley Ellis at dummy half onto Swales. Cuts out pass. He gives it on to Blake Ellis, and he's monstered. Good tackle there by Hayden Bell. Right on the 40. It's the last. 10 in from touch. Bradley Ellis gives the ball out to Swales. It's a rush kick, but he gets it away. It's low. It's going down to the sideline. About 30 out, 20 out, I should say. Swervo picks it up, gives it to Manane, and Manane goes forward. Look at the defence from the Merriwa boys. But look at the Aberdeen boys. But look at all their forwards. They're really struggling to get back on side.
Yeah, need some work out of the back five here, Banker, they will.
Interested to see the Aberdeen defence. They're really compressing in. As you said earlier on, Barry only has to come a bit wider. I think they've got him out here. The Aberdeen defence, both sides, compressing in hard.
The interesting thing for Nathan Barry will be, does he want to risk, flexing his arm that wide in these conditions? And he's probably happy to send it downtown, because at the moment Aberdeen are struggling to get into the Merriwa red zone. Here's a good tackle by, a good run by Jimmy Diggins. He gets to halfway, really good run, centre field, Ellis underneath. Ball goes from Gilmore on to Shawnee Millwood. Has to be careful, he's got a strong wind, but he puts it high, and Seth Morgan's going to collect it about 12 metres out from his own line. Good kick and chase there by the Aberdeen boys, and Ethan Christensen's first man off the deck with Matty Jones and Seth Mitchell, and he's tackled 20 out from his own line. Number 11 coming on for the Magpies, Brady Hilton.
Stevie Muffet coming on for Merriwa.
And Hilton, who's off. Bradley Ellis is off, the hooker. And Brady Hilton, he goes on and replaces Bradley Ellis. There's Blake Ellis that goes on. Who's Muff on for? Muffet's on for, is that big Nick Stanley?
Yeah, looks like him, mate.
He's Johnny Whitby, first run of the game, and Whitby, he won't take a backward step. He's just shy of the halfway centre field. Hilton at dummy half. Here's Stevie Muffet. He goes well too. Great tackle around the legs by Matty Jones over the top. Liam Wilton, they're inside the Aberdeen half. Ball goes to Barry. He says, I've had enough of this. He puts a big midfield bomb up. Pressures on Swervo. Great take from Swervo Irving, and he's belted for his troubles, but it was a really good take.
Multiple changes for Aberdeen too, boys.
Kane McDonald and Brocky Foreman on for Wilton and Gordy Akuma.
There's 3 going on.
Fenno's going on for Fitzy.
Brocky Foreman's on, yes, good point. Brady Fenton. So that's multiple changes. The game's been played at a hectic pace, fellas. They're just over their own 40, the Tigers. Gilmore at dummy half. Here's Kane McDonald straight off the bench. Geez, he's a good runner, this boy. Kane McDonald, he makes his way inside the Merriwa half, only just, but fair enough. Here's Shawnee Millwood. He's going to put another high kick up. It's holding its ground up in the air, and Seth Morgan's under it. And another great take from Morgan. He gets the ball and he goes forward, and he's hitting a really good tackle by Millwood. Underneath was a good tackle as well by Matty Jones. No, is that Matty Jones?
Yeah, Matty Jones.
Good tackle by Matty Jones.
Shawnee Millwood pushing the subject there a little bit high, but let it go again. I like it.
Yeah, I like the way Jesse Rudder's refereeing this game. He's Muffet, Steve Muffet. He gets out to his own 40. He's trying to keep going. His post-contact meters was great then, and before he was belted by Taylor Pryor and Matty Jones. They're just shy or just over his own 40. Ball goes to Nathan Barry. They need some go forward. Barry goes across field, dummies to Whitby underneath, and he goes himself. No, hasn't been the best set of 6 here from the Magpies. Still haven't made it to halfway.
Short side.
Here's Hilton, gets it onto Morgan, onto Jacob Med, gets it onto Shane Pittman. He's got no room to move, and he gets up over the 40, looks to unload, swivels out of one tackle. He comes to Taylor Pryor, and he belts him straight down on the 30-metre mark, and that was the last 2. Last tackle.
I didn't think it was that high. I
thought it was a damn good hit, to be quite honest. But anyway, Jesse Rudder saw otherwise. I think that came from Liam Anderson.
Yeah, I think so, mate.
Here's the tap restart onto Big Benny War. He's charging at the Aberdeen line. He's only going to be pulled down by about 4 Aberdeen defenders. 2 metres out, 5 in from touch. Here's Hilton at dummy half, gets it on to Seth Morgan. He's trying to swivel out of one. He's held up. He unloads to Hilton. It goes backwards. Picked up by Pittman. I thought it went backwards, fellas.
Yeah, I thought it went over the shoulder of young Brady Hilton and picked up. There could have been a meat pie there, but Jesse's order's gone forward. But I think the Magpies are on top, fellas. They're even running into the breeze after this 15 minutes in this grand final. They're on top.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Bomber, that wasn't the greatest set of 6 by the Magpies, but they got out of it. But, geez, that was a let-off for the Tigers here, mate.
It was, actually. Merriwa boys are just same as the major semi. They just play their roles. Everyone's got their role, and they play it well.
Okay, so we've got a scrum, 20 in from touch, 10 out from the Aberdeen line. Matty Jones is going to feed this scrum. On the A+ and Polly Welding scoreboard, it's 4-0 to the Magpies. We've had 15 minutes of play. Here's Millwood from the scrum base. Great run from Shawnee Millwood. Reserve grade player of the year. Here's Gilmore at dummy half onto Kane McDonald. Whitby comes out of the marker and belts him on the 30-metre line. Centre field, Gilmore gets it onto Fenton. Fenton gives it onto McRae. He goes forward. They're up over the 40, and he is absolutely skull-dragged into the ground. 5 shy of the halfway by Hilton. Here's Gilmore out of dummy half. Short pass. Haven't got room to move down there, but Ethan Christensen gets over the halfway line. He's tackled 5 in from touch by Nathan Barry. Ball goes out to Matty Jones from Gilmore at dummy half. He dummies to kick it, and he does kick it. It goes backwards. Bell's under it. Great take from Hayden Bell. Forward pass for mine. Unfortunately, he had to let it go. He was monstered there by a couple of Merriwa boys. Someone's down here. Is that Matty Jones?
Matty Jones caught one after the kick. And they've awarded that it was just a legitimate tackle on Jones, but it looked like a forearm in his back and taken out. So Matty Jones has definitely stayed down. He's caught one in the back there.
There's been no word from the touch or anything like that. I don't think anything's going to happen.
Well, Jesse Rudder's gone over to check him out. You don't get a sore back from just standing there and kicking the ball.
Some blokes don't.
It was touch and go, and I like the way he's playing on, so I'm going to let him off the hook there, and let's just keep on playing. It's been a great game so far. Reserve grade really fast. Yep.
Well, we've got just under 20 minutes to go on the A+ and Polyworlding scoreboard here in the Bengalla Group 21 Reserve Grade Grand Final. We're at Scone Park today, 4-0 in favour of the Magpies. It promised to be a tough and dour game, and we've had everything there so far. It's going to be a very good struggle. He's Swales from the scrum base, gets it on to Seth Morgan, and he goes forward, comes into McRae, says, "How's your father?" and gives him and shrugs him off. McRae, like a good defender, comes back for a second attempt. He's tackled about 30 in from the sideline on his own 40 line. Here's Barry. Barry beats one. He gets up over halfway, only by a couple of metres, and he's finally tackled. Good quick play the ball. Over to Swales. On to Nick McLaughlin. Beats one, beats two, and he's dragged down about 38 metres out from the Merriwa line. Centre field, they go down that short blind. Swales gives an unders ball to Whitby. Beats one. Good tackle around the legs by Corey Gilmore. 28 metres out, centre field from the Aberdeen line. Hilton gives the ball to Swales, out to Nathan Barry. He's got plenty of runners. He gives a cut-out ball to Jacob Med. Med gives a one-handed pass to Pittman. He's got no room to move, and he comes under a high tackle by Christensen, but he's tackled 10 out. It's the last. Ball goes behind to Swales. What's Swales going to do? Puts a little grubber kick, but I think it's going to boot him over the dead ball line. Poor end to a great set of six.
Fantastic. That Jacob Meg getting that one arm offload away.
That was a good option though, just the kick was too dead. There was no one behind there, so if he just could have pulled it up, he was in.
Brucey Blackadder on for Benny War now at Benko too.
Very good.
I think all interchanges from both teams have been good since they've come on. All those big interchanges, they've been going forward.
Yep.
Well, we've got the 20 metres tap restart. They've got a good set of 7 here, the Tigers, and I expect them by the end of this. Our apologies for this wind. We're up high on this scaffolding here, fellas, but this wind is brutal. Absolutely brutal as Brad Fenton for the Tigers takes it forward, makes good 8 metres. Here's a little Graham McRae. There's nothing of Graham McRae, but man, he's got to up the sides of the line, fair income. Good tackle by Barry. Dummy half goes to Gilmore, gives it on to Taylor Pryor, and Pryor's had a great season. He's just shy of the halfway mark, 10 in from touch. Gilmore at dummy half onto Shawnee Millward. He's got runners inside and out. He gives it to Kay McDonald. He steps out of one. He struggles through another, but good tackle. It had to be made by Blackadder. They're on the 30.
He's been good, Andy McDonald.
Oh, fantastic. Sean Millward out the back to Dave Manane. Puts a chip kick through to open ground. It's rolling into touch. Who we got? He's going to goes no option on Benny Neighbour, but to push it over his own dead ball line. Swervo Irving and Hayden Bell were charging down on him, so that was the only option, I think.
Yeah, and a good option by Dave Manane. Just put a little dab in there, a bit of experience there. Now the Tigers will get the repeat set, which they want, and this will be their first attacking chance, fellas, down on the Magpie line.
Interesting here for the Magpies. It'll be interesting to see how far this dropout goes. Big, great tackle there. He went straight through Nathan Barry there, that initial break. So here's the dropout. It's a wobbly old one, but I tell you what, look at the result. It's going to get
50 metres.
50. It's rolled 30 metres before someone picked it up. Great tackle from Jacob Med. On Fenton, Brad Fenton. Here's Matty Jones. He takes a one up and he's belted about 38 metres out from the Aberdeen line, 20 in from touch. Gilmore at dummy half. He gets a short pass to Christensen. On to Taylor Pryor. He gets through one, he gets through two. Good tackle had to be made by Pittman. 12 out from the Magpies line. Quick play the ball. Gilmore gives it on to McRae. He goes across field. He beats one. He beats two. They're going to try and hold him up. Only the fact that he's about 70 kilos. Corey Gilmore, dummy half out to Shawnee Millward, unders ball onto Foreman. Foreman races to the post. Is he scored over? No! Last tackle. Goodness me, that was close. Gilmore at dummy half, out the back to Dave Manane. Long pass out to Millward. Millward steps off his left. He's going to go to the line. Has he scored? No! Pulled up on the last. Unbelievable defence from the Magpies.
I tell you what, Greg Piper from the Magpies, 2 try savers on Graham McRae, and then Foreman back at the ruck. Greg Piper, he's bugging now.
Changes for Merriwa again, boys. Whitby off and Muffet off.
Penalty. Yeah, they went a bit high. Corey Gilmore went a bit high there, and on Hilton.
20's on Benko, whoever 20 is. The Merriwa.
Big 19. Carlin back on, and Carlin Reamer.
I tell you what, boys, there was 3 times they must have been ball nearly over the line.
Mate, I thought they were scoring for sure. Brocky Foreman, I thought he was going to the post. That was an unbelievable run. How's this kick for touch here against the Breeze boys? Thank goodness they kicked that side of the field. So here we go from the tap restart after that penalty. Ball goes there on to number 13, Nick McLaughlin, and McLaughlin's tackle about 5 shy of halfway, 10 in from touch. Ball goes to Swales onto Hood, who's back on the field. I think, I can't see who's gone off. Here's Muffet and Whitby are off. Good rotation again. They're getting through them. Here's Reamer on the halfway line. Swivels out of Fenton's tackle. He gets to Kane McDonald, and he's tackled on his own, on the Aberdeen 40. Took all day to get up. Good slow play the ball by Aberdeen standards. Here's Barry. Gives an unders ball to Seth Morgan. Steps out of one player, and he gets up over the 30-metre line. Good run by Seth Morgan. 25 metres out. Barry goes himself from dummy half. He keeps the Aberdeen defence guessing. He goes forward out the back to Seth Morgan. Long pass. It's going to be 6 to go, and Med's picked it up. No advantage. He's tackled. Oh, how did that go forward?
He's just got no advantage.
Yeah, no advantage.
Fair enough. Thanks, Matty Edwards. I'm glad you're standing in.
We have Matty Edwards do this.
But Nathan Barry, he doesn't look like he's going quick at the line, but the time he has with the ball, he reminds me of Jason Smith, ex-NRL player that used to be just the amount of time he had with the ball.
Good point.
He near walking in, he just says, that's time on his hand.
Interesting. Shawnee Millward's down. He's grabbing that right hamstring. Or is it the back of the knee?
I was going to say, he's always had that dodgy knee.
That back of the knee. It's on the A-plus Poly Welding scoreboard. We've got 13 minutes and 40 seconds to go in this first half. Grand final up here. It's 4-0 to the Merriwa Magpies, and they are on the attack big time.
Geez, I like Merriwell's body language. Even when they're under pressure there, they just stayed calm, got the job done, and then they just raced up this end of the field. No dramas at all. Geez, I like the way they're playing.
Well, I tell you what, Sean Millward's in a world of pain back there. This is vital. This is absolutely vital. I see Liam Mitchell's warming up on the sideline, so we've got Shawnee Millward down. Fair dinkum. I don't know how they'll travel without Millward. He's kicking game. He's put a heap of good pressure on so far, and I don't know if they can go on with Shawnee.
Shawnee might be hurt, but he also knows he's got to buy a bit of time for his boys too.
That's right. I like that, Bomber.
This rotation policy by the Magpies, Bomber off the bench, is really good. Whitby for Hood, Muffets are off, Benny War, Stanley, and Bradley Ellis the hooker. They really know their roles, like you mentioned earlier, mate.
Yep, that's right. Everyone's knowing their role, and even old Brucey Blackadder goes out there, and he probably ain't going to have a 15-minute stint, but he knows he's got to put in for 15 minutes. And yeah, it's the third time I've seen Merriwa play all year. They don't do a lot wrong, and they just stay in the match, and it's exactly what they're doing today.
And Brucey Blackadder, he was the one that made the try-saver tackle on McDonald up there, that initial bust. So,
I'm still surprised that the Tigers didn't score.
Nah, well, they had 3 tries. They must have been pulled up millimetres short for 3 times. You had McRae go close, you had Foreman, then you had Sean Millwood all pulled up in the space of 3.
He's right. It was a bit of behind the time.
So it's going to be a scrum feed to the Tigers, to the Merriwa Magpies, and they're going to find themselves 20 in from touch, 10 out from the Tigers line. Crucial set of defence here from the Tigers. Scrum's fed. Barry picks it up. He takes off himself. He goes straight to that man that was down injured, Shawnee Millward, and he tackles him. Only a couple of metres out from the Tigers line, he gets up and plays the ball out the back from Hilton onto Swales, onto Reamer, and Reamer goes to Millward, and he's tackled there with Kane McDonald in to help 8 metres out from the Aberdeen line. Swales at dummy half, gives a short pass out the back to Nick McLaughlin on that real short side over there on the right. He hasn't made any ground so far. On the attack, the Magpies out the back to Swales. Swales looks to give a short pass, but he had no option but to go himself. He unloaded it there in traffic. It went backwards, Jesse says. Manane's trying a one-on-one strip to no avail, and Bradley Hilton's got the ball.
Numbers here left there, Benko, if they come left.
It's been an ordinary set so far, and he absolutely made a meal of that, but in doing so, Manane... Jesse Rudder's penalised Aberdeen, saying Manane had his hands under there in the ruck.
A heap of changes, boys. I was trying to watch it, so war's on.
We'll do a quick touch, Schultzy. Sorry, here's Big Hoodie from the tap restart. Great tackle around the legs there by Corey Gilmore. 5 out from the Tigers line, centre field, onto Reamer, number 20, and he goes forward, and he'd come to a stop, but belted by Taylor Pryor. Merriwa on the attack. They have got an overlap here. They need to get through the hands, out the back to Swales, on to Barry. Barry's got runners left and right. He gives it on to the big fella, Timmy Stanley, and Stanley's tackled. No ground made so far. A little bit pedestrian attack, but they need to get deeper. Here's Swales. He's got some unders. On to Hoodie, and Hoodie goes forward, and he's hitting a good tackle there. Millwood and Brad Fenton are in there amongst the defenders. Options both left and right. They come down their left side to Barry. Barry gives a short pass on to Stanley. Go out the back to Barry! Barry, short pass to man in the corner! He scored, the Magpies! 8-0!
Great offload again. Jeez, they've been playing
Fantastic stuff by... Fantastic stuff by Nathan Barry.
Tim Stanley got the offload. Fantastic offload.
Yeah. I've lost all the changes, boys. About 5,000 changes in for both teams.
Well, we've got a break here in a minute, Schultz. We've got a break here. So on the A-plus Poly Welding scoreboard in this Bengalla Group 21 reserve grade grand final, we've got 11 minutes to go, and it's 8-0 in front of them in favour of the Magpies, with a kick to come. Dubs, boys, so we can get something decent. Bradley Ellis is on and Hilton is off, I see. Brady Hilton is off.
Yeah, Aberdeen's Pryor, Fenton and...
Taylor Pryor's off, Fenton's off, and
War come on from Merriwa with Stanley. He went on.
Yeah, he replaced Piper and Blackadder.
Yeah,
they came off then.
Well, let's have a look. See, no movement from Liam Mitchell. So for Aberdeen, let's get it right. Let's see. Liam Wilton's off, Taylor Pryor's off, Brad Fenton's off, and Kane McDonald are all off. We'll get onto there. We know Fitzsimmons is off, McRae is on. Sorry, Fitzsimmons is on. For Merriwa, we see Brady Hilton is off, Johnny Whitby's off, Gavin Piper and Muffet's off, so they're nearly back to their starting lineup. Yeah. Hoodie's on as well. The kick for goal, it sprayed it again to the right. I wouldn't say spray, the wind just dragged it out to the right. So I don't know if there's going to be a lot of goals scored today, fellas. So it's 8-0 here in the A-plus Poly Welding scoreboard in the reserve grade grand final.
Yeah, good combination on this left side, Benko. That edge play, Barry likes to use his second rower, and he's actually fairly strong, that Barry. Doesn't look like he's moving, but he's a strong character.
So the issue is, Bomber, with the kick restart going, and Hayden Bell put a good kick up there, and underneath it was Andrew Swales, and he give it immediately to Reamer. They're dragging towards the sideline. Is that no one wants to take Barry low. The first hit has got to take him low because he runs really. He doesn't run upright, Bomber. He runs at a bit of an angle as he runs. So if you knocked his legs out from under, he's going to go down. He's got a good habit of unloading, but I must say, here's the Magpies. They're about 31 metres out from their own line, centre field. Aberdeen defence. Gordon Akuma's amongst it there. Here's Ellis, gives it on to Barry. Barry in turn turns it over to Timmy Stanley. And Stanley makes a couple of metres and he's just shy of his own 40. Centre field again. Ellis at dummy half, out to the right-hand side to Swales, puts a low kick in, it's going to go sideways, but Swervo Irving, it touched his hands, it went over his head, he's slow to get back to it, and Merriwa, it's gone into touch, so a bit of a mistake there from Swervo, and Merriwa are going to have the ball, roughly 20 metres out from the Aberdeen line, 20 in from touch with the scrum feed.
Yeah, the two last kick. The dropout went 50 metres, which it shouldn't have, and then that kick there should have been taken by Irving, probably on the 30-metre line. He attacked it too much, went over his head, touched it, he made a meal of it picking up. Magpies fully in control now. Barry will look to take control of this set, and he'll come. I'd say they'll just keep attacking this left-hand edge, boys, which has been dominant.
Absolutely. They're really making Seth Mitchell, the little winger for the Tigers, work hard today. Here's the scrum ball from Merriwa. Get to the Seth Morgan. He steps out of one. He's still going. Seth Morgan, he's over! Well. The defence from the Aberdeen Tigers was ordered, to say the least, and Seth Morgan, through sheer determination, for one pass off the scrum base, went through 3 or 4 defenders and just planted it down next to the left upright.
Like you were saying with Barry, they all went higher. Then I'm going Seth palmed off Dave Benet, Matty Jones, and then he still had about 5-6 metres, and they dragged 3 or 4 across the line.
Yeah,
so fantastic.
Real good footy. Just played nice and direct, challenged the defenders. They weren't up.
12-0, and he's going to have an opportunity here to convert his own try. He's going to be what? I wouldn't take it too far back into this bruise, boys.
He's going to have to kick it at the canteen.
He's going to have to. He's going to aim at the steak tent and hope for the wind bring it back. He's planted the ball down 10 out directly in front, or let's say to the left upright. He can't miss this, surely.
No, you got to remember, Seth's a fairly handy footballer.
Yeah, absolutely, Bomber.
First grade, he's played. He might have been in he's definitely been in divisional under 18 sides. He's no mug. He's probably more than just a reserve grade player.
You're saying at in the first half, Shilty, how much is this breeze worth? And it's the opposite way around as we see Seth Morgan convert his try.
14-0, yeah. 14-0 to the Magpies on the A+ Polly Welding scoreboard, and I see big Liam Wilton's come on. They've probably missed his defence in the guts somewhat there for the Tigers. Louis Mitchell's still warming up here on the sideline. Brocky Foreman's off for Liam Wilton, so Hayden Bell's going to have a kick restart.
I think they have to get Mitchell and give him a go because, 14-0 down against the Breeze, you're going to have to do something,
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised Taylor Pryor went off too, fellas. He's had a great season. Swales under the kick restart, gives it to Hoodie, and you know what? Hoodie, he's not the fastest bloke in the world, but he never fails to make meters. A little bit of a juggle there from Swales. He goes under 1, he goes under 2. He hits down that short right-hand side, and then, geez, the defence is dropping off for the Tigers, isn't it?
Yeah, they're full of running the Magpies, and Swales is making good meters.
Absolutely. Ellis at dummy half gives it on to Barry, and Barry turns it back inside to big Benny War. And Ben Ward gets up over the 40-metre line, just shy of the halfway line. Here's Ellis from dummy half, gives a short pass on to Reamer. They ran in twos, but Reamer still stands in the tackle. Steps out of one, he's tackled about 38 out from the Aberdeen line. Geez, the Tigers need to pick their defensive efforts up here. Ellis at dummy half out to Barry. He's got runners left and right. He dummies himself inside to Seth Morgan. He gets tackled in the end by Jimmy Diggins, and he's taken back a couple of metres. Last tackle. No one to kick it. Seth Morgan says, give it to me. I will do the job. He kicks it high. The wind's holding it up. Dave Manane under it. Great take from Manane on his own 10. He comes to a swarm of Merriwa defenders, and he's tackled there by Nick McLaughlin. 12 metres out centre field from his own line. Little Seth Mitchell, it's his first drag of the ball, but he's skull dragged, and look at the size of him compared to some of those Merriwa boys, little Seth Mitchell. Here's Gordy Akuma, and Gordy Akuma takes it forward. That's a good run from the front rower. Gilmore at dummy half onto Ethan Christensen. Great tackle by Nick McLaughlin. He's done a mountain of work. I see Johnny Whitby's just about to come on. This rotation's good from the Magpies. Here's Shawnee Millard. Gives a good inside ball to McDonald. McDonald's up over the Merriwa 40. He's going to be tackled on the 30. Ordinary ruck defence there by the Magpies. Sean Millard. Quick play the ball out the back to Gilmore.
Numbers.
Quick pass out to Jones. Jones goes as crossfield. The Magpies are coming at him. He throws it off the ground. He wasn't tackled for mine, but has gone forward.
He just had to get it to Critter. He just had to get it to the quick bloke, the experienced bloke, the class player, and he's made the wrong call.
Well, let off for the Magpies there. That inside defence. I mean, Millwood went sideways, Matty, and they did that in the last couple of games. Millwood has picked up Kane McDonald, and McDonald had an easy path through that ordinary Merriwa defence. They really need to be alert and urgent around that ruck area.
Yeah, especially with only 4 minutes left. The Magpies won't want to give one away before half-time. The Tigers will muscle up here, but that was the first time Shawnee Millwood just drifted across and found McDonald on the inside and got lazy markers exposed. But the Merriwa chase, they still got back in three or four in the numbers on McDonald. So the outside backs helped that out to rectify the situation. And a penalty again to the Maggies.
Yep.
I see a big Johnny Hood's off, and also the Timmy Stanley. Who else is off?
They had 5 changes then. The rotation I like.
Hayden Bell down, Banker.
Sorry, mate.
Hayden Bell's down.
Yeah, Hayden Bell. Belly's down there on the Merriwa 20. So there's a penalty. Jesse Rudder's called a penalty there. So Merriwa are going to have a kick for touch. What are they? 32 metres out from their own line. I really like the way they've got this rotation policy down here with their subs. These big boppers here, they probably good 5-minute stints, and geez, they're all making it count when they're on there.
Yeah, that's right, and they're happy just to keep rotating. No one wants to stay out there. They're happy to just, as Bomber kept saying, they know their role, roll through it. 5-10 minutes. I mean, Brucey Blackadder was probably only out there for about 8 minutes, but he'll go back out either just before half time or start the second half.
I like it.
Would you be looking at giving Louis Mitchell a run 3 minutes before half time, Bomber?
Mate, I'm not sure because I think I believe he's tore his hamstring, so I don't even know whether he'll get on. As he's warming up and doing everything right. He'll probably be on there.
Well, here we go. Swales has failed to find touch, and Swervo picks it up on his own 20. He gets up over his own 30, 35 out.
Here, Banco.
Pardon?
Big 3 minutes here.
Big 3 minutes. Millwood at dummy half gets it on to Fitzsimmons, and Fitzsimmons takes the ball forward, 5 shy of halfway, 20 in from touch. Bad mistake from the Magpies. They better not compound that now with a try to the Tigers. Manane gives it cross-field and picks up Gordon Akuma, and Akuma with those great leg speed. He charges forward. He's just shy of the Merriwa 45 in from touch. Gilmore at dummy half out to Millwood. Millwood's got options. He gives it inside to Liam Wilton. He's dropped it cold as a spud on the Magpies 40, and a big let off there, and a really cheap turnover there for the Aberdeen Tigers, Schultzy.
Yeah, mate, yeah. And to Merriwa's credit, their defence is sensational. They're not pushing it. No one's racing out of line. They're just doing their job, marking up, talking well, and cutting them down.
Interesting to see Millwood. The last couple of attacking sets, he's actually tried to turn the ball back in towards the markers. Wilton dropped the ball, but he found Kane McDonald earlier. Yep. Got Wilton there, but the error from Liam.
Tight end.
He's a tight end here against the feed. Out the back to Matty Jones. That's against the feed there. Good effort by the Tigers. There's 2 minutes to go in this first half. Pressure's right on the Magpies here. Gilmore at dummy half. They go down the short side to Big Fitzy. And Fitzy's tackle. Great tackle from Blake Ellis around the legs. 25 out from the Magpies line. Gilmore onto Bell. Bell jinks off the left. And he's belted in there. A great tackle. Who was that?
Greg Piper.
Piper. Ball goes on
Whitby.
to... Whitby it was. Fitzsimmons, and he goes forward. He's tackled. He tries to unload it. He does, but it's no. He's called held. He's saying Gilmore thought he could play on. Quick play the ball out the back to Millwood. Millwood's got runners. He dummies inside, gets it outside to Matty Jones. He dummies himself back at the back of the hand to Ethan Christensen. Christensen's going to go over the sideline. Waste of a set of 6 there, right inside the Magpies 20 and the Tigers. I don't know, with a minute and a half to go in this first half, that was ordinary.
Well, 2 sideways. No one was straightening up. One of them boys had to decide to go back inside, straighten the defence up and go in there. But everyone just drifted sideways, found the sideline. Too easy for Merriwa.
I like what Bomber said earlier. I think you got to give Christensen early ball. You got that. You got that with basically Jacob Med right on top of him. You give Christensen early ball. He can use his feet at the line to try and poke his nose through.
Well, we've got a scrum feed to Nathan Barry, the Merriwa Magpies, 10 out from their own line. Tigers are going to try and get another loose here. Ball goes out the back. Seth Morgan's the man. He goes forward straight into Kane McDonald, and Liam Wilton broke early from the scrum, and they've wrestled him down 18 metres out from the Magpies line. Swales gives a short pass out there to Hilton, number 11, I think that is, and he takes the ball to his own 20, centre field. Ellis at dummy half gives it on to Big Whitby, and Johnny goes forward straight into Matty Jones, and Matty Jones, they bounce off, and he come again together, and he's tackled about 25 metres out from the Magpies line, 20 in from touch. Ellis out to Swales, short pass on to Hilton, little number 11, he's buried there by 2 good tacklers there by the Aberdeen Tigers. Didn't make much ground. Jones was underneath, Fitzsimmons over the top. Here's Barry. He said, give it here. That's an ordinary kick, but it's into vacant land. Irving comes forward and he drops the ball cold as a spud. It's picked up there by Swales.
Only 6 seconds left here, Benko.
They want to get another. And look at Shawnee Millwood's not silly. He's trying to hold him down. There's no penalty, but Shawnee Millwood done it to try and milk the clock onto Swales. Swales gives a short pass onto Seth Morgan. He beats 1. He beats 2. He gives it out there to young Pittman, is it? Pittman gives it back to Morgan. He kicks it. It's half time. The siren goes and Millwood off a rebound, gets the ball, he takes it over the sideline.
Penalty.
What for now? He's
offside.
He's called offside. So here we go. The Magpies have got the ball. Magpies have got the ball 20 out, 10 out I should say. 5 in from touch from the Aberdeen line. The siren's gone for half time here. It's 14-0 to the Magpies. Bradley Ellis with the ball. He's going to take the tap restart. Gives it out the back to Swales. On to Barry. Long pass. He's got runners. He puts a little chip sideways. It goes backwards. If Aberdeen get on it, they can score. And Ethan Christensen's picked it up, but he's monstered there by Gavin Piper. And finally, Jesse Rudder calls half time.
Commentary of errors then, boys.
Fair dinkum. How strong's this win, fellas?
Very strong. The Aberdeen boys very frustrated though. Obviously they want the game to be going the better way. You see Millwood, Jimmy Diggins out there talking to Jesse at half time. A few of the other fellas, they're frustrated, Aberdeen boys. The Magpies have really been sticking it to them, and they'll be ecstatic going in 14-0 up. It's 14-0 up going in at half time.
Grand final for all those people just tuning in. 35 minutes. The second half's just about to kick off. It's 14-0 here in favour of the Merriwa Magpies, and Nathan Barry gets us underway. Dave Manane collects it on his own goal line and gives it immediately off to Gordy Akuma, and he's run out exceptionally well, 15 out from his own line. Here's Corey Gilmore, gives it on to captain coach Jimmy Diggins, and he gets up over his own 20 metres in from touch. Good defence so far. Gordy Kuma, first run off the ruck from Gilmore again. He just shy. No, he does scramble to his own 30. Good defence from the Magpies. Corey Gilmore gives the ball, short kick. He jumps out from dummy half and he puts a long kick down. One bounce straight on his own 30. Seth Morgan for the Magpies goes forward. He beats one. He beats two. Good run from Morgan. He gets up over halfway. Good input so far from Sethy Morgan. He's Jacob Med out of dummy half and he's dragged down by Taylor Pryor. Didn't play the last 15 minutes of that first half, Pryor, but he's keen to get back into it. Here's Big Benny Ward, charges forward. Good quick play the ball onto Hilton, that is. No, it's Ellis. He gets the ball out to Swales. Swales goes one way, no options there, so he goes back inside, gives it on to Ellis, and he in turn gives it to Benny Ward. He's tackled. Centre field, 25 out from the Merriwa from the Aberdeen line. Ellis at dummy half down that right left-hand side onto Nathan Barry. Barry goes himself. No options there but to go himself. He's tackled 12 metres out. It's the last tackle. Ellis at dummy half onto Seth Morgan down that short left onto the big fella Timmy Stanley. And Timmy Stanley's going to get tackled on the last. They probably could have done a little bit better there, Schultze and Matty.
Yeah, it was a pretty one-out play. Nathan Barry just handed off to Timmy Stanley. There wasn't really anything on, but I suppose the best thing is they pin Aberdeen down into their own end and say, come on, come out, try and come out into this bruise.
Here's the Aberdeen boys trying to get it out. That's about the third run he's had in the last 60 seconds, Gordy Akuma. Where's all the runners, fellas? 15 metres out from his own line.
Interesting to see Corey Gilmore actually kicked early on the third tackle into the breeze where they'd never kicked early in the second half.
Here's Brocky Foreman, who started the second half, and he's tackled about 15 in from touch, just over his own 20-metre line. Gilmore at dummy half. They're electing to come down this short side again. Hayden Bell's going to get dragged into touch if he's not careful, but he goes to ground about 38 metres out from his own line, a couple of metres in from touch. Gilmore out to Foreman. He was looking to pass it, but he goes himself, goes up over his own 40. It's the last. They need a good kick. Aaron Deep in saying that too. Gilmore out to Shawnee Millward. Tries to get in a better position for his left foot kick. He does so. It's going to go straight down over to Shane Pittman's wing, and Pittman gets the ball. He collects it on his own 20. Gets to about 25 metres out, 26 metres out from his own line. He gets up and plays the ball to Med. He takes off from dummy half. He's been dangerous every time he runs the ball, but he runs into a wall, and that wall is Jimmy Diggins. Good hit. Ellis at dummy half out to Seth Morgan. Seth Morgan steps off his left, goes through one, goes through two. He's still struggling, but a great run from Seth Morgan. And look at the play the ball. There's 4 Aberdeen blokes down over the halfway. Ellis gets it on to Med. He goes forward. Good run from the Merriwa Magpies. About 35 out, 5 in from touch from the Aberdeen line. They need a quick play the ball. Ellis gets it out to Barry. Barry goes across field, turns it under to big Johnny Hood. Good tackle around the legs from Matty Jones. Last tackle, 30 out from the Aberdeen line. Down that short side. Ellis goes from dummy half. He beats one, beats two. He gives the ball inside to Seth Morgan. He should have given it maybe on to Stanley, who was in support, but he took the last tackle.
Player down, fellas.
Aberdeen boy down. He doesn't look well out there either. Is that Seth Morgan?
Is it Seth Morgan? Yeah.
I think it is Seth.
Set.
Yeah.
Would it be fair to say, from watching the both opening sets, Aberdeen too much one
It's
out,
not set.
and Merriwa running with multiple players?
Ellis they're saying, boys.
Yeah, Seth Morgan's up near the line. It is Blake Ellis.
Benko?
Yep.
I think the play the balls, Merriwa getting on top, getting those quick play the balls. You know, as Benko said, Seth Morgan had 4 Aberdeen blokes on the ground when he played the ball during that mid-set.
But what I'm saying is there's only that one runner for Aberdeen. Merriwa have bodies in motion.
Yeah, Gordy Akuma has just tried to do it all on his own in the opening 3 or 4 minutes. I don't think this wind's going to let up, Reggie.
Lee Mitchell's going to.
For all those listeners out there, please bear with us. We're doing our very best, but we're up on our bird's nest tower up here at Scone Park, and it is blowing an absolute gale. I see Kane McDonald's looking to go back on after 5 minutes. Maybe Aberdeen might have learnt something in the sheds at half time, fellas, about this rotation policy.
Mitchell's been warming up the whole first half, and he's still warming up the second
He's still
half.
going. He's swinging those arm around. There's no doubt Lee Mitchell will
Get
get a
him out
start
there.
here shortly.
Get him out there.
Has to get out there.
Probably a stage in the game now. If he's going to tear his hammy, he may as well do it.
Mosey, you got nothing to lose, Bomber. There's no getting ready. No getting ready for next week. The only thing they're worried about is he might be going on the end of season trip. Mad Monday. Who cares about Mad Monday when you got a busted hamstring, Schultze?
I've never seen a bloke miss that for a hamstring injury.
No, that's right. They can will him around that.
Looks like they're going to bring him off here, boys.
I did say, fellas, I did say Blake Ellis, but that's Bradley Ellis.
Yep.
The hooker. So
he was the one that jumped from dummy half there and got the offload to Morgan.
I think if they're not going to put Lee Mitchell on, I think it could be do a bit of a rotation and put Ethan Christensen 5'8" and just let him have some early ball and see if he can use his pace against a couple of the bigger Merriwa boys. Because at the moment he's not getting any quality ball.
Well, I see Brady Hilton's come on for Bradley Ellis, and Hilton's had a good first half. He slots straight into that dummy half role. He's been very, very good. So Aberdeen, look at the Aberdeen boys. They are in a worst possible position, 5 out from their own line, and let me tell you, the Merriwa defence will absolutely belt them. So they need a good hit out here and a good set of 6. He plays the ball. They go down that short right onto Taylor Pryor. Runs straight into the weight and arms of Barry and Nick McLaughlin, the lock forward. He looks like he got a bit of a jaw injury there, Bradley Ellis. But here's Jimmy Diggins, tries to lead by example. He comes to the Merriwa defence. They pick him up. Really ordinary. They didn't need that, Merriwa. I don't know why they even bothered to try and lift Jimmy Diggins up. But they got him into a little bit above horizontal. And the penalty goes the Tigers' way. Good kick from Corey Gilmore.
Bomber, can you put that mic in front of you?
What's that?
So could you
Keep that mic in front of your mouth. Reggie's telling you what to do.
The wind.
The wind is horrendous. Here's Ethan Christensen, the Aberdeen Tigers on the attack. They're just shy of halfway. Geez, I like the way Gordy Akuma runs. He gets that leg speed and that really good post-contact meters. He's up over halfway now. Gilmore at dummy half, their centre field. Jimmy Diggins has said, well, if I have to take this team forward, and he leads by example. He gets to 40 out from the Magpies line. Gilmore at dummy half, short pass onto Akuma. Out the back to Millwood. Short pass to Foreman, and that was a hospital pass, but he did well to hang on to that before he was belted by Piper. Gilmore at dummy half, face pass out to Semi Fitzsimmons. Do Aberdeen look a little bit pedestrian at the moment, fellas?
Yep.
They need a spark. Corey Gilmore at dummy half goes down that blind side to Millwood. Gives it inside to Manane, but he's ruled it forward. Was slightly forward. Liam Anderson called that on that far touchline, boys.
It'll be a last tackle changeover, but it's something finally a bit different. Again, Millwood going back on the inside. And
I've been waiting for Damon to do that all day, so...
It just hasn't been enough of it, fellas. And they need a spark, the Tigers. Right now, they just look a little bit pedestrian. They've got great go forward by Jimmy Diggins and also Gordy Akuma, but they just need more.
I think Manane to the right centre, put Ethan Christensen at fullback and let Ethan sniff around the middle of the ruck.
Well, you're close to that bench down there, Bomber. Get something happening. He's Piper, and Piper for the Magpies. They're centre field, Hilton at dummy half. Big Fitzy's doing a mountain of tackling out there. Here's Nathan Barry. He says, stuff this. I'm going downtown. He puts a beautiful kick, and Dave Manane collects it about 18 metres out from his own line. Good kick chase, too, from Nathan Barry. But look at Dave Manane. It looks like ballroom dancing there. He swiveled about 5 times. Big Fitzy's coming off. I see Brad Fenton getting ready to come back on. Seth Mitchell from dummy half gets it onto Akuma, and he gets up over his own 30. Good run from young Gordy, but equally good tackle there by Benny Waugh. Gilmore at dummy half. They go down that right-hand side. Matty Jones goes himself. He unloads to Pryor, and Pryor goes across field, straightens up. He gets to halfway before 3 Merriwa blokes tackle him right on the halfway line, spin him around.
I think we're going to see Lee Mitchell come on now, boys. He'll replace Matty Jones. Sorry, Benko.
No, that's cool, mate. Shawnee Millwood gets the ball, and he had no runners. And he ends up going himself. He's about 41 out from the Magpies line. On to Kay McDonald. Good run from Kay McDonald. 38 out from the Magpies line. It's the last tackle. Gilmore at dummy half. Long ball out there to Millwood. Millwood looks to throw another equally long pass. Good pick up from Ethan Christensen. Dances around. Beats one. It goes forward, but in the tackle it came loose. What has Jesse Rudder called there, Matty and Schulte?
Yeah, forward pass, mate.
Yep, went
Change
forward. Turnover. So I see the big fella there, Timmy Stanley. He's going to play the ball, on his own 30, own 20, I should say, 10 in from touch. He's Benny Waugh goes forward. He's belted, absolutely belted by a good tackle from Brad Fenton and Gilmore. Took all day to get up and play the ball. That's what Aberdeen need. Here's Nathan Barry. Dummies one under. Gives it to Whitby, and Whitby's hitting a really good tackle there by Brock Foreman. And Fenton again. Good defence from the Tigers early. Barry, no room to move. Swales are standing flat-footed. There could be a mistake here. They look ordinary. Out the back pass. They don't need to be throwing passes like that. Swales gets the ball. He threw it from the ground onto I think that was Benny Neighbour, the winger. Ball comes here to Ellis. Is that Blake Ellis? I think he come from this side centre. Haven't made much ground in this set of 6. Good defence from the Tigers. Out the back to Nathan Barry. Barry says, I'm getting out of here, and he does so. Midfield bomb. He better be careful. Swervo. It's bounced once. It's bounced twice. He picks it up on his own 30. Comes to Barry. Good kick chase. Benny Neighbour's in there to help as well. Gets up and plays the ball to Christensen. He jumps out and goes himself. Gets under 1. He's belted in a really good tackle there on his own 40 by Hilton. Dummy half, gets it onto Foreman. Foreman goes in behind the ruck, just shy of halfway. That could have been doomed to flop there by Nick McLaughlin. But the play on, Kane McDonald gets up over halfway and they've dragged him back. The Merriwa defence is strong, but he's standing in the tackle. Finally gets him to ground. They're centre field. They've got options. Corey Gilmore. They go down to Shawnee Millwood. He's going to pass it inside to Ethan Christensen. Room to move. He's up over the Merriwa 30. He gets it inside to Manane. Manane's inside the Magpies 20. Centre field. It's the last tackle. Gilmore at dummy half. They go down that short right onto Millwood. Millwood flat out cut pass to Ethan Christensen. He goes to ground on the last. They should have got it in for a repeat set, Schultze.
Oh, wow. Aberdeen's starting to look dangerous, aren't they? They're starting to get a roll and they're trying to go forward. But Merriwa's letting them in the game there. They've gone away from their game plan of kicking that corner early. So they probably should have, second or third tackle, go back, kick that corner again.
Yeah, and Bomber called it. Christensen was actually the one on the receiving pass of Millwood there. I tell you what, if I'm the Merriwa trainers, boys, I'd be saying come out here and just run at Lee Mitchell. Let's test this hamstring out and see what happens. But Lee actually hasn't even touched the ball in attack yet. So be interested to see the Aberdeen boys with Shawnee Millwood. They're going to try and energise this right in front of this Aberdeen crowd to keep going.
And they need a spark, and the defence so far has been brutal in this early part of this set here. On the A+ Polyworld and scoreboard, we've got 25 minutes to go on the reserve grade grand final. It's the Magpies 14, the Tigers 0. Real pressure pass there to Hoodie from Swales. He gives it under, and he's tackled about 32 metres out from his own line. 20 in from touch. The Magpies in possession. Hood gets up and plays it to Hilton.
In front.
Oh, the only offside penalty of the game so far.
They were a mile in front.
They were about 4 metres in front of him.
Okay, I'll give him, but that's the only offside penalty I've seen this game. I stand corrected, but they were way offside. Quick tap restart. Gets it onto Blackadder from Nathan Barry, and he gets up over halfway, runs into Brad Fenton, and Fenton holds him up. Centre field, Hilton at dummy half, gets a ball out to Swales, short pass to Muffet, standing flat, the Magpies, but they still get a little bit of go forward. Muffet still takes 3 or 4 players to get him down. He's wrestled finally up over the Aberdeen 40. Hilton at dummy half, short pass to Big Whitby. Johnny Whitby gets some steam up, and he gets to the 40. Big good tackle from Fenton and Jimmy Diggins. Gets up to play at 30 out. That was an ordinary play, the ball. Yeah. And Jesse Rudder didn't miss him. Turnover. Have we seen a little change in this Bomber down there?
Yeah, I think the Merriwa, the reserves are sort of getting a little bit edgy here. The bench is getting a bit edgy, but they've just got to have a bit of faith in Nathan Barry to get these boys home. They've still got a 14-point lead with a big wind here. They've got good field position. They're still making their tackles.
Well, someone, Bomber, Schultze, Matty and Reggie, someone needs to step up from Aberdeen. They need to score, very, very shortly, if not this set. Here's from the scrum base. Millwood goes out, gives it on to Hayden Bell. He's dancing really close to that sideline. He's going to do well to keep him in from touch.
This will be a penalty.
You reckon? He has to. What's he saying? He's called held.
Yeah, it's a really tough one when momentum's going towards the sideline and a referee calls held 3 metres out from the sideline. In my eyes, I know it's a rule, but you should just...
No!
I don't think he's found touch.
No!
What was he thinking?
What was he doing? Corey Gilmore kicks for touch from 1 metre on for the sideline. He was about 40 out, and what was he trying to do? The wind blew it back into the field of play. I don't even think it crossed the sideline at all.
He's lost it.
He's lost it. He's Merriwa. They turned it over, and Aberdeen have got the ball back on their own 40. McRae with the ball goes forward, and he's hitting a good tackle from Nick McLaughlin. Got through a tower of work now. Well, both sides coughed it up early, but they've got it back, the Tigers. And Brad Fenton gets the ball, and he's tackled about 40 out. There's a penalty from Blackadder. It could be open up here. I see Lee Mitchell is finally on the field, boys.
Yeah.
That was a late flop from Bruce Blackadder. There's no need for that. So let's make sure of this one, Shawnee. He's made no mistake with that, boys. I tell you what, and look at the wind. He's with the tap restart. Swervo, the winger, he takes it forward on the Merriwa 40, and he's hitting a good tackle from Blackadder and over the top. I think that was Muffet. Matty Jones from dummy half onto Kane McDonald. He's been a tower of strength so far. Kane McDonald. He's 21 out from the Magpies 9. Jakey Duffin's on. Jones at dummy half gives it out to Millwood. Millwood short pass out to Taylor Pryor under Barry, but he unloads it to Manane. Steps away from Med, but he tackles him. 20 out, 10 in from touch from the Magpies line. Dummy half there onto Christensen. Gets it onto Millwood. Millwood turns it under for Jakey Duffin. He goes forward. Good run from Duffo. 12 metres out from the Magpies line. Jones at dummy half onto Millwood. Millwood gives it to McRae. He steps one way and he's tackled there. Could have been a real lazy tackle, but he's tackled on the last. Out to this left-hand side. Millwood turns it side. No, he elects to kick it. Puts a grubber kick through. It's gone to ground. I thought that might have been a knock-on for the Magpies inside their own line, but they collect it. Seth Morgan, he gets into the field to play. Blake Ellis gets the ball. I think him and Kane McDonald have a little bit of a set to there, him and Seth Morgan, but someone got belted. Who was that young Merriwa Magpie boy?
Yeah, I missed it, boys.
Yeah, but he had Matty Jones there and Brocky Ford.
Angus Wally's had, this is his first input, Angus Wally. He's called Jesse Rudder over, and there could be a penalty here against the Aberdeen Tigers.
It's just strange, the Merriwa boys, they've got that raging wind behind them and they haven't kicked early into that corner, and they're getting a bit flustered and they're going away from their gameplay. And getting caught up in the Aberdeen sort of niggle and, the Aberdeen fire. But, this stoppage in play with 21 minutes left just might make the Merriwa boys. We see Brucey Blackadder and Muffet come off.
Also Hilton. So Bradley Ellis is back on, the starting hooker. He's come good, Bradley Ellis. It'd be interesting to see what that report was from Angus Wally there.
We'll find out in a minute. I'm thinking I was...
I see Gavin Piper. Geez, there's been wholesale changes to the Magpies in this recent rotation policy. I think they're just going to pack the scrum here, and I think they're just going to pack the scrum, and Louis Mitchell's going to feed the scrum.
I don't know if it was because of his failed to find touch, but Corey Gilmore got dragged off, and Matty Jones back on.
Yeah, Corey Gilmore got gaff hooked, fair income, like you were catching marlin.
What's going to be the decision here?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
I think Angus just wanted to get on the video.
There's still a long way to go here. 20 minutes in grand finals.
14. Yeah,
a lot of experience out there from Aberdeen. Like they wouldn't be in panic mode with Louis and Sean Millwood out there. There's some calm heads there. I know they can get a bit hot-headed, but they've got to be smart here in the next 20 minutes.
Funny, isn't it, Bomber? I think that Merriwa was panicking a little bit. They're at 14-0. They just seem to be panicking a bit instead of getting to their process and kicking that corner.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of excitement down here on the bench. They can sense a bit of a victory, and I think it's going through the bench, and the bench is taking it out in the field. They just need to calm down.
Yeah, that's right.
Young Lincoln Jarretts has come on for Blake Ellis, who's come off with a little bit of a leg injury. That was Blake Ellis that had gone down. Lincoln Jarretts is going to go on. So it's a scrum feed to the Tigers. Yeah. They're 10 out, 20 in from touch from the Magpies line. They need to score from this set of 6. Louis Mitchell with the ball. Scrum base goes Matty Jones. Out to Millwood. Millwood's looking for that. Oh, what a great tackle out there.
Nick McLaughlin, the
lock forward out of blinder so far. Jones, quick play the ball onto Duffin. Runs back into Nick McLaughlin again, and also Bradley Ellis. They're about 5 out. Trying to play the ball, trying to get up quickly. Jones at dummy half. Short pass to McRae. Coughs it up. 2 metres out from the Merriwa Magpies line. A let off there for the Magpies, and they've just shot themselves in the foot, the Tigers there. They had a good set of 6.
Yeah, a clutch tackle there by McLaughlin on Millwood. If he had got to the outside of McLaughlin there, he had numbers on his outside, but he managed to drag him to the ground. Otherwise, we could have seen Aberdeen open their scoring account, but the knock-on happened in the field of play, so we'll see a scrum feed 10 metres out for the Merriwa Magpies.
That was that combination. They were just about to set up, but that tackle by Nick McLaughlin was outstanding. It had to be made because Dave Manane was straight off Millwood's hip. Here's Gavin Piper. Geez, they broke well and they belted him, but what a great run. Graham McRae was amongst that tackler there with Shawnee Millwood. Here's Reamer. Reamer with the ball for the Magpies. He's taken a good tackle there. by Hayden Bell and also Brocky Foreman. Struggling to get out of their own red zone. Here's big Johnny Hood. Johnny Hood comes to the Aberdeen defence and they wrestle him down, but he gets it away to Nathan Barry. Barry comes to Taylor Pryor and Pryor tackles him down. 25 out, centre third from his own line. The Magpies go down the short left. Onto Swales, onto Whitby. Whitby goes forward. He's up over the 30. Good tackle there. He fell awkwardly. His right knee didn't look good there, but he gets up. Plays the ball back to Barry. Barry needs to get it out of the. He kicks it. He does so. Young Seth Mitchell gets the ball on the first bounce. Good run by the little fella. He goes to the Merriwa defence and he's hitting a good tackle by Ellis. He's up over his own 30, 35 out. In fact, before Skull drags him down to the ground. Here's Ethan Christensen. Got good pace off the mark. That looked good too. But what a great tackle by Jacob Med. Just shy of halfway. Here's Shawnee Moore. Goes down that short blind, trying to create something, trying to get a spark for the Tigers. He unloads to Christensen, but he's tackled. He's up over halfway, 41 metres out from the Merriwa line.
Starting to roll on now, the Tigers.
They need something badly. Here's Jakey Duffin, first cab off the rank. He runs straight into Whitby and also Nick McLaughlin. What a game McLaughlin's having, boys. 38,
Lee Mitchell still hasn't done much out on this left-hand edge since he got the ball. He just been passing.
Here he is. He looked to go himself. He can't run harder. He can't stretch out at all. He tried to give
that'll test him out.
He tried to get the ball under to Kane McDonald, who overran him, and that was a penalty. No, he's called it lost ball. Lee Mitchell's going off deluxe, and he's given a penalty away.
Give him a gobful wiser.
Total gobful.
I think that's a good call because Mitchell was fighting with Reamer in the tackle and he just kept palming him off, and he lost the ball. So it's on his onus to play the ball, and then he's giving him a mouthful, as you said, Benko, for what for. Dave Manane gave him and questioned him. Bomber's right, though, boys. You see Ethan Christensen gone back to fullback. Yeah. Dave Manane got down to right centre.
Oh, I think it was a brilliant call from
That's why Bomber's a super coach. Here's the big fella, Timmy Stanley, off the tap restart. They didn't get cute with it and kick for touch, so they just had a quick tap restart. Ball goes to Swales. He turns it back into big John O'Hood, and John O'Hood still wrestling. He's up over halfway. Look at the size of the bloke. McRae came from Aberdeen to put him down in the end, but he's over halfway. Ellis at dummy half, out to Nathan Barry. Nathan Barry goes himself looking for his runners, but he gets to the 40. Centre field, quick play the ball. Ellis at dummy half, jumps out to Swales, puts a little grubber kick through. Great tactic into vacant land. It's going to go over the sideline. 10 out from the Aberdeen line. They'll have a scrum feed.
Just a bit of a point of difference here. When they're kicking, they can kick down that corner where the wind is, or they can kick over to the Irvo and Belly side. If you kick over to their side, you're not going to bring Ethan Christensen into the game by kicking onto this side, grandstand side. That's probably one thing they've got to look at, because he's the one bloke that's going to get him out of trouble better than the two boys on this side.
Yeah, I don't disagree with Bomb, but they have to find the sideline, don't they, if they're going to kick that way?
Yep.
What have we got? Just under 17 minutes to go, boys, in this Bengalla Group 21 Reserve Grade Grand Final on the A-plus Poly Welding scoreboard. It's 14-0.
I'm going.
Stop laughing. It's the 14-0 to the Magpies.
I'll be back, Benko. I'm going to get Matt Kenny for first grade.
Can they hold on? Yep. Here's Matty Jones from dummy half onto Brock Foreman. Foreman goes up. He's just shy of his own 30. 20 in from touch. Matty Jones from dummy half. Evades one tackle, gives a short pass to Manane. He swivels out of one tackle, and that was Swales. Need to do better there, but he gets through his own 40. 10 in from touch. Matty Jones at dummy half onto Foreman. He comes to Nick McLaughlin. McLaughlin, great tackle with the help of Bradley Ellis. About 5 shy of halfway. Jones, short pass onto Kane McDonald, full of running. Gets through one. He's hitting a good tackle from Johnny Hood. Drag back over the halfway line, and Ben War's in there as well. The big boppers finally come to the fore. Jones at dummy half, out to Millward on that right-hand side. Little chip through. It wasn't the greatest of chips forward. He virtually dropped it onto his foot.
Six more.
Six more. Number 12 is Big Taylor Pryor, picked it up. He's at the Merriwa 30-metre line. Comes down the left side, short one pass on to Jakey Duffin. He goes forward, hard to put down, the little fella. They're 25 out from the Magpies line. They've got to score from this set of 6, Captain Obvious, Benko. Graham McRae gets the ball. High tackle.
Nick McLaughlin just slipped up.
Quick play the ball. Quick tap restart from Matty Jones. Matty Jones gets through one. He gets through two. He's dragged down about 3 metres out from the Magpies line. Looking for a quick play the ball. Mitchell at dummy half turns it inside. Gives the ball on to number 15, Brocky Foreman. Foreman's dragged down about a metre out from the Magpies line. Dummy half, Matty Jones gives it inside to Jakey Duffin. Can he score his second try in 2 weeks? No, he's held up over the line.
I'd like to see Millwood take it wide here with that inside ball then to Christensen. I think if he can expose a few of the big fellas out wide to Merriwa, I said the inside ball here, and you can see Christensen in this back play, just standing behind Sean Millwood.
We've got an injury in the background. Is that Seth Morgan? I think it is. Is it Seth Morgan? I don't think it. No, it's not Seth Morgan. He's trying to find a bit of time here.
Smart play.
Yeah, very smart play. It's Bradley Ellis is down on the side on the ground, right on the try line there, and Brady Hilton, I should say, has come to the sideline. Good tactics by the Magpies. We've got 15 minutes to go. 14-0 their way. Here's the restart. 10 out, 25 in from touch. Jakey Duffin's going to restart with a play the ball. Matty Jones at dummy half. Long ball out there to Lee Mitchell. Onto Shawnee Miller. Shot pass. Ethan Christensen. He's put a gap through and he scored. That's that combination Bomber's been talking about. Ethan Christensen. The Tigers are on the scoreboard.
Yeah, you could just see that even with the stoppage in play, Christensen was basically standing straight behind Sean Millwood that whole time, and he just peeled off his right hip right there, and Sean Millwood delivered a little pop pass. Christensen had too much pace just to pounce through that line, score about 20 metres in from that eastern touchline, Benko.
Schultze, Bomber, that's that combination we talked about. It was, it probably wasn't rocket science. They had to chance their arm, and geez, Ethan Christensen can find a gap. Bomber, you've spoke about it all game so far, and really good, smart play by Shawnee Millwood and the boys, Lee Mitchell.
Mate, he's quick, isn't he? Jeez, he's quick.
He can go. He can go.
And it's just brought a new spot. If I'm Merriwa now, we really need to be looking at that. We've got to be make sure we have trust in our faith in our processes in our defence. We just have to realise that they've made a change here now, and he's about to kick the goal, and he has.
Yes, he's got it. Hayden Bell. Hayden Bell's converted that try. What do we got? Just under 14 minutes to go here. The A-plus Polywielding scoreboard. 14 points to 6. The Tigers are kicked back in the last 5 minutes. They've looked the better team. I'll play the ball. The whole structure has improved. Nathan Barry, I think he got them boys together in goal there and give them an absolute spray. They keep their minds on the job. The rotation policy is still here. So Nathan Barry is... I'll just get a handle on who's on for the Magpies, but Nathan Barry, kick restart, goes deep. It looks like it's going to bounce over the sideline. Did Ethan? It went right angles and it was touched by Ethan Christensen. Well, there you go, the hit back by the Magpies, and Nathan Barry, fair income. He'll go down in the annals of Merriwa Rugby League, I'll give you the tip.
I know it's tough in this win, boys, but we saw it in the 18s, and you've got to attack that, trying to get that ball on the full in this win, because once it blows, it's just going to keep blowing to that eastern side and take off over the sideline.
No coach is going to get upset when you're having a go at trying to catch on a full, especially in this wind.
Well, no, you've got to make it easy for yourself. I see big Johnny Hood's off.
I'm back, boys.
Johnny Hood's off, and here's the Merriwa boys. 10 out from the Aberdeen line. Barry goes himself from dummy from the scrum base. He's tackled 10 out from the Aberdeen line. Gets the ball. Ellis at dummy half. Ellis gets the ball onto Muffet, and Muffet charges forward. He's hit by about 3 Aberdeen defenders. He's dragged back. He's about 11 metres out. Ordinary play the ball, but Bradley Ellis picks it up, and Kane McDonald comes again and comes over the top. There's a little bit of a set too.
Penalty
Bit of a push and shove, and Jesse Rudder saw a high tackle. Did he get that from Angus Wally, you think?
I think he's called him for not square at marker, maybe.
Okay.
High tackle. High tackle.
The second shot was high.
Yep.
Will they take the kick here?
I wouldn't.
I think he is. He's going to take the kick for goal off the penalty. Seth Morgan's going to try and take it out to 16 points to 6.
It does buy us some time, but the Aberdeen Tigers are full of running here, and I would keep the pressure on them. It's 8-point game. What's 10 points going to make nothing? I would have kept playing.
How do you see it, Bomber?
Yep. Spot on.
Thanks, Bomber.
You know why? You know why he couldn't talk? I just spot he's eating red frogs.
Hey,
fair income.
I thought they might have to go because of the Merriwa crowd down there, cheering them in this second half. It's the first time probably they've had been down there this whole second half with some good ball. But I suppose 10 points in this win, if they score over, it's going to be tough to convert, as we've already seen. So 10 points is, big in grand finals.
Tell you what, if Seth Morgan gets onto this ball will end up at McKinnon Field.
It's true.
What is he, 12 metres out? Let's say directly in front with this penalty kick. I don't think Seth will have any issues with it. We've got under 11 minutes to go here. The A-plus Polywielding scoreboard. He's going to just about to knock it over. 16 points to 6, and he does so with the greatest of ease. The Magpies in front, 16 points to 6. It's the Bengalla Group 21 Reserve Grade Grand Final. We've got 10 and a half minutes to go here. Geez, there'll be some celebrations in Merriwa.
Tell you what,
tonight.
They'll party for months.
I was heading back up tomorrow, and I might head to Merriwa.
Well, they need a cheap turnover here, the Aberdeen Tigers. They need to try and force the issue right now. Try and find a mistake in the Magpies line. But here's Hayden Bill moving up, trying with the kick restart, I should say.
Boys, they've actually moved Dave Manane back to fullback and Christensen back out the centre when they had the luck with Christensen at fullback. So
I don't understand that.
here we go. Anyway, Hayden Bell takes the kick off and he goes deep into that eastern corner. It'll find Nathan Barry.
He said,
He
no,
takes
I'm
it
going to
himself.
go myself, and he runs straight into the arms of Taylor Pryor, and also Shawnee Millward. He stayed down, Nathan Barry. They're pleading with the touchy on that side for what are they calling for us? High tackle?
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit high, but I thought it was, he's been doing a good game so far, letting him go, and I thought it was marginal. So
Look chest on
Absolutely,
chest. Taylor Pryor went in
absolutely.
chest. It wasn't any like swinging arm.
just a good shot.
But it's
Yeah, it
definitely,
was a
it's
good
definitely
tackle.
rattled Baz.
It was a good tackle by Taylor Pryor.
Especially at 9 minutes. You don't want Nathan Barry, your captain, going off now.
No.
Because he's been directing
No
the ship
chance.
all day. So
Mate, so what do they do? Do they call a HIA on him?
Well, it's unlimited interchange, so he can stay out there.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And I'd say it'd take a few Mack trucks to get him off
Yeah.
the field at this stage. We've got just under 10 minutes to go. He gets up and plays the ball on his own 20, short pass to Swales. And the other Merriwa defender there was that Benny Ward. He was standing
high one.
flat. They're trying to pick him up, hands between the legs, but they can't. He gets up and he plays the ball. Centre field, ball goes to Seth Morgan. He says, give it to me, and he takes it forward on right up to the 30-metre line. He's a great run from Seth Morgan. He's Ellis at dummy half onto Barry. Short pass out there to Timmy Stanley, and Tim Stanley just shy of his own 40.
Be looking to
20
kick-
in from
kick
touch.
now.
Yeah.
The winger, Seth Mitchell's only just dropping back, and Curtis Swervo Irving here. Here's Nathan Barry. He read it well. He goes downtown and he let it bounce, Seth Mitchell, but he picks it up on the first. He gets out to his own 30. The referee's called Jacob Med offside. He stayed well out of it. He's trying to drag him to the sideline. There's nothing of Seth Mitchell. Someone should have been in there to help him. Here's Ethan Christensen jumping out from dummy half, and he gets out to his own 40, 10 in from touch. They need to score off this set of 6. Here's Jones at dummy half, gets it onto Gordon Akuma. Gordon Akuma comes to Benny War, and he gets tackled 5 shy of halfway. 20 in from touch. Jones at dummy half goes down that short right onto Taylor Pryor. Short pass there to Millward. Millward gives it on to Ethan Christensen. Is he called it going backwards? No, he's called it went forward in the tackle. They're remonstrating badly with Jesse Rudder here, Shawnee Millward, but
And
they tried
penalty.
to
There
push
it
their
is.
pass, and they've given him
Shawnee Millward's
another
off.
gobful.
It was a knock on all day.
It was a gob, but they've given him a gobful.
Yeah.
Jesse's not having any of it. Lee Mitchell's gone in there now to plead his case, but there's no change. Nothing's going to change. So here's Merriwa with the penalty.
I tried to change Matthew Edwards' decisions all year, never happened. 10 years.
Is Nathan Barry been outstanding so far, and he's
Just
found touch. What a great kick with the aid of the wind, and he's got the tap restart. 20 out from the Aberdeen line. Bradley Ellis with the tap restart gives it on to Stanley, and Stanley goes forward. Shawnee Millward's there, and Ethan Christensen's underneath. 12 metres out from the Tigers line. Ellis at dummy half onto Barry. Barry gets the ball, goes across field, shows it once, goes it twice, and he comes under a high tackle. There was nothing in it. There was nothing in it there. He gets up and takes it all right.
Then
That
Lee
was-
Mitchell came again in on the high.
Yeah, but that was Brocky. I think that was Brock Foreman that got him around the upper echelons of the shoulders. Yeah, look, he was up straight away, Nathan Barry, but they'll have another kick for goal here, and that'll take it out to a converted try, so they'll definitely get the penalty. They'll take the 2, and Seth Morgan will milk this last 7.5 minutes for everything he can now. So this is a big hurdle to climb here for the Tigers on the A-plus contracting poly-welding scoreboard.
It's just frustration from Aberdeen. I think Sean Millward and Lee Mitchell, they're frustrated at probably their mistakes, but taking it out on, Rudder and the calls and etc. So
Can
it
I
was
just
two
say-
high tackles.
Can I just say, boys, they don't want to finish the game with less than 13 players.
I was about to say, Shawnee Moore wanted to be
They don't.
careful.
Yeah, realistically.
Oh, hang on,
what's he-
Lee Mitchell's been sent
Lee
off.
Mitchell's.
No,
Oh, it's the
that's
trainer.
No, he's a water
Trainer.
boy. Don't panic.
Little shrubby, little
Don't
shrubby,
panic.
told to go.
I think everyone thought Louis Mitchell had been given his marching orders, but it was only the league safe boy. with a water boy. So look, Seth's his time's still off. No, he's waved it back on now, Jesse Rudder. So we've just gone under 7.5 minutes to go here in the A+ contracting polywelding scoreboard. It is 16 points to 6. This kick right in front, 11 metres out. Seth Morgan won't have any dramas with this. And look at, he's going to kick straight to his crowd. They'll go up here. It'll make it 18 points to 6 and a big hurdle to climb for the Tigers. Johnny Whitby's just coming from the field. Seth Morgan moves in, makes no mistake about it. Straight over the Merriwa gazebo down there. 18 points to 6 here. Bomber.
Short kick off. Short kick off, and I get it back. I'll have to just start throwing the footy around.
To really be spot on with this Hayden Bell, because you know the wind's going to bring it back inside the 10 if they do a short kick off. I'd dribble it out along the ground. Here it goes. I think you're spot on, Bomber. He's going to try a little short chip. The win, it's gone over the line. It goes forward, but it's come off Shawnee Millward, so it's a double knock on there. Come off his shoulder, and the Merriwa boy knocked it on as well. What's Sean saying?
I don't know what he's blown over.
Shawnee's saying it came off my chest. He's pearling to that large mass of Aberdeen supporters out there.
I know he's been trying hard, but he's just got to be very careful here at the end here, Shawnee Millward. If he just pushes him too hard, he might find himself in the bin.
Yeah, we don't need that. 18 points to 6. The clock's just gone under the 6-minute mark here in the reserve grade grand final. Scrum food to the Magpies on their own 30.
Set here needed by the Tigers.
Massive defensive set. He's Sethy Morgan. He goes forward, runs into the waiting arms there of, who was that? Ethan Christensen and Matty Jones. Slow play the ball. He gets up 32 metres out from his own line. Centre field. Swales gets the ball, goes to Brady Hilton. They pick him up and they try to body slam him down. Hayden Bell and Brock Foreman gets up and plays the ball onto Bruce Blackadder. And Blackadder gets to the 40. He unloads it in traffic. Great stuff. Nathan Barry gets onto Nick McLaughlin. This guy's been sensational, Nick McLaughlin. He gets up, plays the ball 5 shy of halfway. Dummy half out to Seth Morgan again. He's had a blinder of a game, Seth Morgan. He gets up over halfway. 6 metres in fact, so here's Bradley Ellis. Bradley Ellis from dummy half comes down the short side to Swales. He'll grab a kick through. Duretz is trying to get the bounce. He doesn't. Good pick up there.
Taylor
Pryor was hanging in the background there. Tries to get up and play the ball. Ethan Christian's at dummy half. Couple of metres out from his own line. 10 in fact. Goes forward. Hitting a good tackle. Look at this Merriwa defence, boys. Look at them.
The bench is getting excited too.
They're getting very excited. We've got 4.5 minutes to go on the A+ contracting and polywelding scoreboard. It's 18 points to 6. They're 20 out from their own line, the Tigers. And it gives a short pass from dummy half onto Brocky Foreman. He spills it. So it's a Magpies turnover. 20 out from the line. And big Johnny Whitby's coming back on. Here's Ellis, short down this right-hand side to Swales. Swales finds a gap. He gives it out to Gavin Piper. And Piper goes over. The Magpies look like they've sealed the grand final victory.
Even I'm excited. Good to see, eh? A little town like Merriwa win the grand final again. It's great to see.
Well, Swales created that. He went down this short side. You were wondering there for a split second, boys, whether it was the right option, but he got through 2 defenders, and he probably could have scored himself, Andrew Swales, and he gave it on to Andrew, Gavin Piper, I should say, and Piper stepped inside one defender and scored and planted it down. It's 22 points to 6. We've got 3.5 minutes to go in this Bengalla Group 21 grand final of the reserve grade. Celebrations in Magpie country tonight, and if Pete Holland is listening, Pete Holland, they've already got the Sandy Hollow Motorfest out there, so he won't have far to go to the Merriwa local.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, we had the I think Brocky Foreman had hurt his arm, so he couldn't hold the ball, but then you had Seth Morgan pick it up and go. Quick little turnaround there by Swales. As you said, Benko, I think he could have gone himself and scored a try, but, you know, well done to the Merriwa boys. They've been really, really solid all year in the reserve grade comp. The reserve grade comp's probably been the tightest as it has been all year. And to get through against Scone in the major semi and then back it up against the tough Aberdeen outfit who are always reserve grade grand finalists, it's been a really, really good defense.
18 years is what they're saying. 18 years.
18 years.
16, I think they said. Doesn't matter. They've got 2019 wrapped up for mine. Here's Seth Morgan trying to convert this try. 21 metres out, about 3 metres in from touch. He moves in with the assistance of the wind. It's coming around. He's hooked it. Waved away by Wally and Anderson, the touchy. So they're looking for a quick play of the ball. I think they know. I think the Tigers know there's no coming back from here.
They're home.
It's 22 points to 6.
There's some happy boys down here.
Champagne's flowing already.
Is Shawnee Millwood with the kick restart. Going to try a little short one. No, it goes long. The Breeze is holding it up, and Juritz gets the ball on his own 20. Comes forward to Swervo Irving, and he's tackled. Good tackle from Curtis. 5 in from touch, just shy of his own 30. Ball goes to Brady Hilton, and Hilton comes forward. Another good tackle from Swervo Irving, just over the 30. It was an ordinary play, the ball. He got away with it. Swales gives the ball on to Benny Waugh. The big front row has charged at the Aberdeen defence. I must say there's been a couple of really good defenders. They haven't shirked their tasks today, the Aberdeen boys. They've done everything they possibly can to stay in this game, but unfortunately the time is going to beat them. Here's Seth Morgan. Oh, what a game Morgan's had!
Swales.
He's got support in Swales at the 30. Only the fullback, the booty goes in and out, and he's going to score in the corner, Andrew Swales, to wrap it all up for the Magpies. Seth Morgan, sensational.
I asked at the start of the day to get him more involved, and he had a cracker of a game. Playing first grade.
Yeah, he just busted him straight through the middle. He went through 2 high shots, and it was even good. The Merriwa boys, they just kept pushing up with it. There was Swales and the winger outside him, so they had 2 options, but Swales, and he backed himself against Dave Benet, went straight to the corner, and he scored the try. We've only got 50 seconds left, Benko. That'll be it.
Yeah, they'll kick for goal to try and get the extras, but maybe they've no need for it. There's no points for and against in this situation. They're all shaking hands now. I'd say that's it. 26 points to 6 on the A+ Polywelding Contracting Grand Final. I think I got that around the wrong way, but the Merriwa Magpies have taken out the reserve grade Grand Final.
Surely there's someone.
Yeah.
Brucey Blackadder.
Yeah.
Brucey Blackadder.
They want Bruce Blackadder to
They
be
can't,
replaced
no.
and kick the goal, but they're not going to worry about it.
No, they're not even going to worry about it. They're all shaking hands. Great sportsmanship from the Aberdeen boys. They know what it's like to win a grand final, but I don't think anyone can deny, no one can deny the Merriwa Magpies on this victory. Fellas, how good a game did Seth Morgan and Nick McLaughlin have for the Merriwa Magpies? A host of great players.
Yeah, I was going to point out that, Benko. I thought Morgan, Barry in the middle, controlling at 5'8", Morgan out the back and McLaughlin up the middle. They were sensational, and then the rotation of their big men just keep rolling on. It just took the offence on the Aberdeen line. Look at the Merriwa boys, all the crowds coming on.
Oh, that's great to see.
Yeah, no, but they definitely deserve their win today, Merriwa. The halves controlled well with Swales and Barry, and then you had the class of Morgan out the back. And full credit to that front row and the forward pack.
I was going to say, the whole forward pack. I can't, every single one on the bench and every single one of them forward pack did their job, and that's what made Seth Morgan be able to do what he did today.
Boys, just for Aberdeen, I do like. I want to give a couple of boys a bit of a rap. They never stopped. Kay McDonald at the front rower, he was outstanding. And some of them tried hard. I think Gordy Akuma tried his hardest. Jimmy Diggins tried to lead by example, but they just their own worst enemies a couple of occasions there. I feel a little bit for the Tigers, but in the end, the Merriwa Magpies, the pressure they put on.
You got me here, boys. You got me here. I'll get.
Yeah, you go for it.
I'll
Great
Brucey
effort.
Blackadder.
Brucey Blackadder.
Hey,
Here he comes.
old Brucey Blackadder.
G'day, mate. How you going?
Congratulations, Bruce. What a performance, and a great effort by the whole club. Let's put the club in there, not just this team of 19 or 20 players, but congratulations, mate. What a party you boys are going to have tonight.
Mate, I'd say we'll go for a few days, mate. So, the team deserved today. They've played really good all year, and they've all stuck together, and brings back to the old days of the last premiership I was in,
So, is that it now, mate, or what?
Well, yeah, mate, I'd say that's done me now. I've got muscle soreness and joint soreness, so I think that'll do me.
Brucey,
It's way to go out, so that'll do me.
mate, the forward pack from the Magpies today really muscled up to that Aberdeen. The likes of Jimmy Diggins, Akuma up front. The rotation worked really, really well.
It did, mate. We know, mate, Aberdeen, they're a gun forward pack. They roll most sides, and that's how they win their games. They get their forward momentum going, and I think we've done really well to contain that today. And we didn't make too many mistakes, and that's what wins games.
Brucey, Nathan Barry and Seth Morgan, class footballers, and McLaughlin in the back row. Must be good to play with those fellas.
Yeah, it is, mate. You know, I got Seth's my brother-in-law, so it's good to play with family, and and I coached Nathan years and years ago, so it's good to see where he's got to. He's a good man, and he'll go a long way.
Thanks, Percy.
Thank you.
Well done, class of 93.
Congratulations, mate. All the very best.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, guys.
What a man. What a great man.
Yeah,
I think Merriwa stalwart, legend.
Yeah, and I think he touched on it. He's talking about family and all.
Yeah.
That's what the Merriwa club's about, isn't it? You know, I mean, that's what they're all about, just playing with family and friends and having a good time. Well, good time will be at it. What do you say, a couple of days?
I don't know if the old fella better keep going. Leave it go.
He's Bomber. He's got Seth Morgan there. Seth, I know you can hear us, mate. We're up here. Bomber's showing him how to use the microphone. Seth Morgan, fantastic performance, mate. What a great individual effort by yourself and the whole club, mate.
Yeah, mate. It was hard work there. Aberdeen always come out. They come out strong, but we weathered the storm. We knew we had to, and mate, the boys put in fucking all week training. Everyone's a bit nervous, but mate, fucking boys, mate. They push you. Come in, I kept going, and mate, hats off to them, eh? I
said, Seth, I was talking to Johnny Whitby before the game, and I mentioned to Johnny that it was all about not walking off that field with any regrets, mate, and full credit, and all of us up here, and even Bomber there, we talked about the forward effort by every single man that went on that field. The rotation policy on your subs bench was sensational, and every guy dug in and just did their role. It was absolutely brilliant, mate.
Yeah, mate, they did, and that was our talk. Fellas off the bench to make an impact when they come on. 5 minutes, give us a good hard go, and starting forward, mate, Benny Wall's been one of the best players all year.
Yeah.
Doody, mate, number 19, started by the back end of the year, mate, and he's been good, mate. He laid the platform all year, and today they just showed how good they were.
Yeah, Seth, obviously tough times out Merriwa, drought, and a lot of people working hard on the land, and must be a good boost for the town, the premiership.
Mate, bloody oath, especially 20 years since our first one in 99, and mate, half of those blokes are farmers and ex-players, and mate, a few of the boys today, and mate, they all live on the farm, so mate, give them something to drink about for the next 4 or 5 days, and out the farm, I'll tell you that much.
We'll be very proud of your performance, mate, and all the very best to you and the boys, mate. Unbelievable performance, and fully deserved, mate. Well done.
Thanks, fellas, mate. Should be raining beers.
Yeah. What a great effort, boys. Thank you very much. What a great effort by the Merriwa Magpies.
We're our runners-up, and I'd like to ask if their captain, if he might come forward and say a few words. Yeah, first of all to the four boys. You were the better on the day, boys. Yeah, what can I say? Great year. It's good to see a club like yours go so well. So all props to you guys. Well done. Hope to see you here next year. To my guys, yeah, it is what it is. Not how we wanted to finish, but something to do about now. We've just got to regroup and go again next year. Hopefully go one better. But I can't thank everyone enough from my boys, everything. And do proud for all the trees here today. It's awesome, especially the Tiger guys. Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Thanks, Jim. We're joined up here by Rocky Duggan from Bengalla and Matt Dicklin from Footy as well. Today our victors, obviously the Merriwa Magpies, and I ask their captain Nathan Barry to come forward, please. Surprisingly, I'm off to work. I'd like to get Aberdeen boys to stuck into us for the whole time. You beat us in the year, and the boys knew that you were going to come out hard and physical, and that's what you did on the performance, and we have to live to it. That's what it is. Our boys, wow, what a year. I love everybody is. I said it in the shed. I'm lost for words, boys. I'm trying. I'm just so happy. We put it in from December to now, and we got the rewards for it. To everyone who turned up, you bloody beauty. Oh, I can't go. Oh. Thank you. I'll call the boys up. Number 1, Seth Morgan. Number 2, Shane Pittman. Number 3, Blake Ellis. Number 4, Jacob Med. Number 5, Benjamin Neighbour. Number 7, Andrew Swales. Number 8, Benjamin War. Number 9, Bradley Ellis. Number 11, Brady Hilton. Number 12, Timothy Stanley. Number 13, Nicholas McLaughlin. Number 14, Lincoln Ritz. Number 15, Gavin Piper. Number 16, Steve Muffet. The second youngest in the team, number 17, Bruce Blackadder. Number 18, John Whitby. Number 19, Big Footy, Jonathan Hood. Number 20, Carlin Reamer. Yeah. Sorry, I missed number 4. Number 10, Darryl Mulholland. Number 21, Ian Med. And number 6 was myself. There was also premiers, the Merriwa Magpies. Just before we get into the big celebration, the player of the match, judged by the boys today, from Merriwa, their captain coach number 6, Nathan Barry.
There, crucial that went to the bin for the Tigers. I know Clydesdale got sent to the bin also late in the game, but it was a brutal game. It was an absolutely brutal game.
There's a certain amount